think I'm just curious how this race is gonna go. I'm really curious and see if we're gonna see a DSS out of anyone. I don't think the runners are gonna do it, considering that they can just probably win off other movement alone. But we'll see how this goes, and we are starting.
Nick is 1 for 1 in DSS, and it looks like he's been a little bit rusty. His best time right now in the league, a 59.35, compared to Strav, who is averaging a 59.13. Nevertheless, Nick comes in as the number 2 seed in the entire tournament. Strav the 7, fresh off of his open win. And Strav really has taken this league, but sorry, go on. I lost my place.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, in the league points, do we have Stravos ahead of Nick, or is Nick just?
Yeah, actually, Nick 2 and 4 currently sitting on the cut line of the playoffs. So a loss here would be very bad for Nick, because that would put him in a potential danger position. Strav, meanwhile, collecting any point will put him into second place for the league. He currently sits 1 point behind Dansta with the game in hand.
Oh, yes,
although Nick apparently said he wasn't going to lose another race, so let's see if that holds up.
Let's see if Karma's a bitch today.
Oh, we see both players. Pretty standard start here, although Nick a little bit of an advantage in the frog section. Not much of one.
I mean, out of the two runners, how similar would you say their movement is between both of them?
I mean, so far, basically identical. Taking a look at their tricks, they all pretty much go for this, or they both pretty much go for the same stuff with relatively similar consistency. So definitely two very like-minded players.
And both of them at the clean left side. I mean, and we saw with Tyrone earlier versus Lightron that, like, as Troy was saying earlier, as Ganon described it, the invisible movement, which pretty much just off better lines throughout every part of the game. Even if Lightron was playing pretty much near perfect, he was just losing times off Tyrone just being an insane player.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Tyrone undefeated in the league right now at 8-0. We were talking to Jambo last night after his race, and he said that he really wants to finish in the top 6 to avoid playing either Tyrone or Stravos. Just going to show you the level that Stravos has been playing lately, even though, seeding-wise, he comes in as one of the bottom half of BBs.
Yeah, I mean, we have 12 people in this league, and he's ranked number 7, and I think, like we said, he's number 2 in points right now.
He's number 3, but he has this game in hand. And
okay,
in all likelihood,
so if he wins this game, he's number 2 after the round finishes, correct?
In fact, without getting shut out, he'll be number 2. He's only 1 point behind Dansta.
And has Dansta played his race yet, or
yes.
for week 8? Okay.
Yeah, he played yesterday.
Okay, none of the runners opted to do DSS, so we are going to see some dino skips.
I'm not totally shocked Nick didn't go for it. He's only gone for it once, but he was 1 for 1, given that he might find himself a bit of an underdog in Stravos. I'm a little surprised he didn't think about it, but overall, you go with what's comfortable, and that's ultimately the better play, especially in the race setting.
I think, like you said earlier, the fact that Nick's on, like, the cusp of, like, being in a bad position for playoffs, that, like, this race is a pretty big race for him, considering where Stravos is right now on the leaderboard, and losing a race by, like, 10 seconds because you messed up DSS. Not, I think, what Nick is looking for right now.
Only 40 seconds left to make your predictions. Nick currently in a bit of a lead, but finding himself the heavy underdog. Those channel points in before it's too late. Unfortunately, we do not have live splits from Nick. So we will do our best on the differences.
We'll give our best rough estimate. But we can assure you that Nick is about a second ahead, and both runners going for chest clip, so this can make a big difference at the beginning.
I think they should be good.
Yeah, Nick's good,
2 for
and
2.
Stravo's good.
Actually, there's kind of that invisible movement again. Strav had a cleaner exit and picks up a little bit of time.
Also, Nick did miss the globe grab, and Stravos did hit it, so I think Stravos did gain a little bit of that time back.
And that is actually great news for Nick that he got it, because he was 2 for 6 coming in. Strav 4 for 7.
Good confidence boost at the beginning of the race, especially when Strav is playing as well as he is right now.
Exactly.
I mean, speedrunning is very skill-based, but also you can't really use that skill unless you have the right mental game, and if you don't have the right mental game, then that skill doesn't mean anything. And that's like as we were saying earlier with Tyrone, that like him not going for DSS, so he's mentally more in the game later on in the run. Knowing that his movement, he can win off movement alone, is still get 57s is crazy.
I think they should both be well on pace for DSTA here. I don't think we're going to have any issues.
I'm curious regarding DSTA though, if we're going to see any reverse towns or not.
And we are in fact going to see 2 reverse towns. A pretty popular strategy here now that we're in the league. And we got a moon sync. This is becoming a close race.
Yeah, and that's invisible movement once again. Stravos just gained about a second just in movement alone. And clean DSTAs from both of them.
Another moon sync, although Nick is not going to keep it up, missing a Cappy Vault there.
And then also did not get the quick pipe entry as well, so that's like I'm going to say like 2 to 3 seconds almost that he just lost there.
Strav's going to take his first lead of the match. Nick has been leading since the get-go.
Okay, bird over the desert, and Strav is going to get it with Nick getting it as well.
Always love to see a 2 for 2 high honor bird. That is a hard moon to back up. Heading up to the gate here. Coming up to Dram, Strav 100%, and it looks like he will continue to be 100%. Nick, I'm a little bit worried about that platform, but he should be fine, and he is.
Okay, looks like he has a good setup as well for single bill, and so does Strav.
Yeah, both runners with the bills right where they need them to be.
Okay. And it works. And we're going to see some reverse jacksies as well. Not surprised, especially at this level.
Yeah, I've been noticing in this league, basically everyone's been going for reverse town, and basically everybody's been going for reverse jacksy. I mean, everybody... I think all 12 players at this point go for reverse jacksy. I think a couple opt for normal town. But at this point...
Didn't we say, like,
reverse
reverse town only saves... How much does reverse town save? Because I heard it saves, like, a second or less or something.
Not much. I think reverse jacksy saves 1 second if it's perfect, and reverse town saves, like, maybe 3 or 4. I don't remember off the top of my head. We do have Troy here in the chat, maybe you can tell us.
You know, Troy is our logistician here at CCG.
Troy is the person who tells me to get my facts straight, so I just generally believe what he says. He could have been lying to me this whole time, I wouldn't know. Cleaner movement on that dune grab there, as Nick is going to pull within a second.
Got it.
Single throw
okay,
notes.
less than a second.
And a double single throw notes.
good start to both of the runners. I think the only big slip-up we saw in Slan was only just a minor mistake of, instead of getting that dive, Nick did get the ground pound, did not get the dive to register on his controller for whatever reason. I think the slow pipe entry because of it. And that was the only 3 seconds it needed for Stravos to be in the lead by 3 seconds, give or take.
On to Lake Kingdom, and these runners are not, comparatively not awful at Lake Clip. Strav 7 out of 13, which is one of the better percentages in the league. And Nick 4 out of 13, so he's twice had to go for a Rango route. Hopefully he does not have to today, because that would put him well behind the 8-ball. Yep, about 3 seconds. As we have a little bit of lag over on Nick's screen, and we are back. Moment of truth coming up to Lake Clip.
This makes or breaks races.
I have seen it take close races and blow them wide open. Let's see what these runners can do. Strav looking like a first try. Oh no, Nick! Falls through again!
Oh.
That's the third time in the league that he has had to go for a Rango route. I will take the L on the commentator's curse.
Wow.
Tough break for Nick, as he's gonna have to go Rango route.
That is so unfortunate right there. And considering the position Nick is in, that is not mentally where you want to be right now, especially with the way Strav is playing in this race, as he gets a successful late clip as well, and he's going to be saving a good amount of time on Lake.
Yeah, I think Rango loses like 8 seconds, but obviously clipping through the wall, you have to go for that setup. So that'll put him down 10 seconds or more, because he'll have to sit through the cutscene. Oh, and he missed a hit there. So just getting worse for Nick. Thankfully able to back it up quickly.
Not the start you want to see. Okay, well, there's still a lot of the race left. If I was Nick right now, I just know that there's a good amount of the race left. I just gotta play the best I can, and then whatever Strav does, and that's all I can do at this point.
Yeah, the opportunities few and far between for Nick. Looking like Day Metro, Snow, and Luncheon are his best chances.
I mean, Spiritless is a huge thing that determines races at the end of the run.
Yeah, I'm just noticing that Strav has only gone Spiritless once in this entire league, which is very surprising. I wonder if this race is so close, then Strav might opt to go for it this time. But that's still about 25 minutes away.
Nick in the chat says he did not expect that to happen because he wasn't expecting the cap to clip in that specific spot, let alone Mario. And just threw him off a bit, which is understandable. Things don't go the way you'd think it's gonna happen, and it just works then.
Yeah, sometimes that muscle memory just takes over, but that's starting to become a theme for Nick, who in 7 races has only successfully got late clip 4 times. Nick missing the Rabbit Moon, Strav buying his moon as we head up to Long Route. Now, Strav missing a nut clip would be a huge benefit for Nick. However, Strav has yet to miss either nut clip or what in the world? Okay. Strav deciding to do a flex there, I guess.
That camera was very interesting.
Grim, I have been known to attempt intentional commentator curses that make races closer. So far, I'm unsuccessful. We have had a very lengthy discussion about this, about whether or not that's effective. Ultimately, I do not believe in commentator curses. I've been doing it long enough that unless the runners hear me and get psyched out by my commentary, which is not likely in this stage of races. Although I do briefly want to commend Nick for getting his nut clip, which he remains perfect on, as well as the out of bounds movement, which he has failed a couple times.
And yeah, and they gets the ledge grab on the pole as well. So Stravos there just stayed on he got the dive roll out on the rail or whatever, and he just rolled out, did a cap spin and went straight to the net. Where I think Nick actually lost at least like 2 seconds compared to Stravos there on that movement.
Stravos grabbing the flag checkpoint. I will mention this every time because of how important it is to get that checkpoint. Because I have commentated numerous people dying there, losing over a minute, and then losing. Make sure to get that checkpoint, kids. Nice Stravs FRS coming up. And he's got it.
Got it.
Oh, Nick, careful. Good save. Deciding to get back up onto the wall. I guess you kind of have to ground pound through that nut. We have a little trouble getting around to the top of the tower. Now he's up. Nick also with a successful FRS, and he's in the tower. Stravos really not making any mistakes here. Not that he does to begin with, but he has been playing extremely clean. We do have his PBs up, and he is +6 on PB without a DSS. He's been playing very well so far. I would assume it does DSS. I don't know for sure, but he lost 11 seconds in Cascade. I didn't notice anything that would have lost 11 seconds. Great 1.5 cycle there by Stravos, Lighted Pipe Way. I don't know, unless there was something that caused him to lose 11 seconds in Cascade, which is conveniently exactly what DSS saves. Very good pipes there by Nick.
And we're about to head into the Cloud Kingdom, correct?
Yes, we're gonna be fighting Bowser.
Okay, I was about to say Snow Kingdom, but or Metro Kingdom, but I felt like that was a little bit too soon.
Brav with an 18.00 exit of Wooded, just under +8 on his PB, so racing very excellently. His best time in the league is only 9 seconds off of his PB, so he has been playing it at an extremely high level in these races.
I mean, considering the strats he's going for as well, that's pretty insane. I mean, he's not doing much in these races, and he's just relying off consistency, and he's been winning pretty much almost every race off it, so...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his one loss is to Tyrone, who has, spoilers, beaten everyone so far.
In that race against Tyrone, what was the head-to-head time?
I'm checking right now. Tyrone won by a minute. I don't know their times.
Okay.
It was 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'll be right back. For some reason my body is swelling up, so I'm just gonna make sure that I eat something. My allergy went crazy, but
Yeah, go do that. That's far more important than this.
so give me about like 5 minutes or less and I'll be back.
Sure. Theron, do you want to pop in for a sec so I don't have to do this by myself? I guess that is a no. So Strav gonna go here for his meme tree. Yeah, Tyrone's 8 races are all in the top 10 times so far in this league. He's just been on absolutely another level. The other 2, though, belong to Strav with a 58.31 and a 58.34. Quick reminder while I don't have anything to talk about. We are doing our spring fundraiser for the Urban Arts. We'll tell you a little bit about them in a little bit. But exclamation point UA to learn more and exclamation point and donate to donate. You can see we are well behind our goal, so we would definitely appreciate any support that you would be able to give. Oh no, Nick taking a death. I was going to comment about Strav missing his reverse torpedo, and now Nick is in a whole world of hurt. Great backup, though, knowing he doesn't have to do meme tree, crossing, and activating Klepto. Hopefully he doesn't die here. Let's see if Strav is able to get his bridge skip. He is. Strav working on 5 total deaths for the league. That death, which was the first of our match so far, for those just joining us, is Nick's 10th in the league. I was just greedy, he says. Well, greed is certainly understandable at this point. You are behind. You kind of have to be greedy. You really cannot play it safe against a player like Strav, who is generally one of the safer runners and is extremely consistent. We have a little bit of a mishap there as he starts out his Night Metro. For those just joining us, Nick has had a couple boo-boos so far. Most recently that death and lost, and that has put Strav well ahead. Nothing super major other than a easy death to recover from and lost. We do not currently have splits for Nick. We do have splits for Strav. He was briefly flirting with the PB as they both get Goomba Heck. But Strav now finds himself 20 seconds behind after losing about 12 in the Lost. We are getting started on our Mecha Wiggler fight here on the right of our screen. Oh yes, late clip, thank you. He fell through the wall and had to do Rango route. And ever since then, Strav has pretty much been in control of this match. They were only about 2 seconds apart as Nick takes bonk there trying to get onto the wire. They were only about 2 seconds apart coming out of Sam. But then Rango route and the death and loss had sealed his fate for the time being, but certainly a good amount of race left to play. We're only about 40% into this race. One singleton near the head. Strav missing a couple shots, but able to clean it up. There's nothing too scary there. And Strav collects the moon. Let's see how Nick does with his second round. Bad pattern, but his singletons are near the bottom. Now going up to the top and able to clean it up. Again, without much. Strav beginning his day metro. Strav missing Trash Dram. Giving it another go. Getting it that time.
Okay, I've returned.
Alright, so you have survived your allergic reaction?
Well, we'll see. Oh, that's a bonk. My swelling is still happening, but I took Benadryl, so that's about the best I can do. I can't tell if it's mosquito bites and my body's insanely like reacting to it, or if I just like touch something and my skin's just not reacting well to it. One of the two, but either way, I won't die, so we'll be fine.
Not dying is good.
But speaking of dying, have we had any deaths this run yet?
Yes. Nick took one in Lost Kingdom. Trying to... he fell in that little donut of lava after activating Klepto.
Okay,
so it was a relatively quick backup, but you can see he's found himself quite a ways behind at this juncture.
I'm assuming we had some nice night metros, and the only mistake I seen since I came back was Nick did take a bonk and Stravos just doing Stravos things.
Yeah, it's been a relatively clean race other than that.
I mean, I could put pictures in the VC text or
Please
DM
don't.
if you want.
Please
Troy, if you want to see. I wasn't planning on to, but I just wanted to make sure that it's not that serious. I can assure you it's not that bad.
IDK, if you want to know, you can look at our stats sheet. I don't particularly want to say, to avoid spoiling the YouTube people, that despite spoiling the YouTube people yesterday, and there's a spoiler. Never mind. In any event, we are up here on the upper portion of Night Metro. Nice roll out there for Strav. Nah, it's fine. I'm just messing with you. We actually did get a reverse people's room. I was very, very pleased to see that. I assume Tyrone went for it in his race. I didn't see. But nevertheless,
yeah, Tyrone did go for a reverse people's room and then nailed it as well.
Of course he did. In any event, with my dream completed, I don't have to yell at these runners for doing normal people's room. And I stand corrected.
Oh!
I stand corrected!
That was quick.
He might be in some trouble here. But he gets it at death. Just in the nick of time, he's able to grab that moon.
Just in the nick of time. I see what you did there.
Oh, completely unintended.
Okay, there we go. That's a small time save Nick needs to get back into this race. Let's see what the Ram stats are. I'm gonna assume they're near perfect.
7 for 7 and 6 for 7.
Okay.
So I'm not surprised. I need to step out for one. What's that?
No problem. Yeah, Stravos, it seems like, has not missed any sort of really trick in Snow Kingdom. So, unless for some reason Stravos misses like the dram skip, or one of the many dram scripts in this game.
Yeah, the naming of tricks in this game is interesting.
We got dram, dram, dram. We got skip. We got skip, skip. We got skip, 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 skip. And very interesting. I think the one that's most interesting to me, besides the dram stuff, is the Dino skip, skip. You're skipping the skip for Dino skip.
Yeah, we have a DSS and a 2 DSS. It's interesting.
I know.
In reverse, even though it's faster.
Yeah, the reverse
There's old
sound.
shards, new shards, new shards. I think there's a new shards. It's a mess.
I feel like the shards have gotten the most optimized little region of the game out of any other region of the game. Just that one
Or
shard
I
area.
assume you're trolling.
Or there's 3 DDSS. Great question. The old frog glitch in 1.0. Darker Side. I kind of like that we do like you actually get to do Darker Side in the speedrun now. I think that's cool.
Yeah, we've been campaigning this weekend. A couple of our fellow commentators and myself have been campaigning for some Darker Side on this channel. It is a very fun route. It does kind of hurt my feelings when people skip Darker Side in Darker Side. I think that might have been patched out in the rules. I don't remember.
Looks like Stravos did some vectoring with the Goombas there.
Oh right, because you can skip some of the bunnies in Dark Side. I think that's what Troy's talking about.
Oh yes, the Dark Side skips, and you don't have to do Dark Side to do Darker Side, or do you have to do Dark Side to do Dark?
You do not need to do Dark Side to do Darker Side.
Okay.
And in fact, it would be very suboptimal too, because that's a very long start. Moon, whatever.
Stars, moons. I don't understand why in the last kingdom of the game they left it as a moon when it was just stars. I think it would have been cool if you got a star, like, for, like, nostalgic stuff, but, yeah, whatever.
We did have a literal sun with the shine sprites. So.
Oh, yes. And
we have
Dram...
sun, stars.
There we go.
Yeah, no, surprise, Strav, 8 for 8 now.
And we are heading to the next kingdom, which is Seaside Kingdom. I'm curious if we're going to see some fish and dips coming up. Looking at the stat sheet, Strav did miss this before. Or wait, I think that's a different one. Or did I see that correctly? Yeah, he did miss it once. He has 6 for 7 on it, which is still insanely good. But to Nick's 3 for 6, so 50%. Strav.
Snow Drain, by the way, from Nick. Go on.
Mushroom does have stars here. Well, I meant there's stars, but it says you got a moon still when you collect the star. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Yeah, in 1.0 you could do a glitch with the frog where you actually skip all of Darker Side. But they patched it out. I think that's what kind of sucks about Nintendo with the modern era of updating video games with speedrunning is you don't really know if they're gonna patch stuff out. Like we had like the big split in this community for a long time on like what is Nintendo gonna do? Like, because the strat is patched out in the newer version, so technically the game is slower. But then once version 1.3 came around, the loads are a lot quicker. Then it kind of fixed all those issues.
Yeah, that was a mess. I'm very glad that 1.3 is faster and we can all move on with our lives.
Yeah, because it kind of reunited the kingdom, or not the kingdom, the community with all the stuff, or all the categories. Because there was like 1.0, 1.2 was like quicker for like 100, and also like all moons and.
We getting raided? We are getting raided. Noble Squashy, thank you very much for the raid. I am pleased to report that I do not have a large Koopa in my apartment. Oh, Strav not able to
No, he didn't get
through
it.
the wall there. He's 6 for 8 now.
He did get some up throw swagger as well on the inside the cave moon. I don't know what that moon's called exactly, but no fish and dips. This is Nick's honestly huge opportunity here to get right back into this match.
He would gain about 8 seconds if he's able to clip through. And he does. Can he stay out of bounds? He does.
It looks like he does. Okay. And we got ourselves a match now.
Grav's gonna get his fish clip. Nick heading there himself.
Okay. And Stravos is the one who does have the live split working, correct? So
Yes.
we'll see where his exit is. We'll see how much his delta is after this one, and we can kind of make an approximation on Nick. Once again, we don't have Nick's live split on the sheet currently, so we will have to estimate that, the time difference. I'm gonna say that Nick was down about like 20 plus seconds before this kingdom, and I think now he's about within like so 36:51. Yeah, he's within like 15 seconds now.
That is definitely a huge time save. Every second at this juncture counts.
Yeah, especially for those extra points, he's want to try to get up to 30 as much as possible if he doesn't lose this. Okay, 24 seconds behind, so he was about 30 seconds above, yeah. So he did definitely make up a good amount of time there.
Now, the moment we talked about 25 minutes ago. Is Strav going to go... no, Strav cannot PB this. He is not
going
go.
for it. Okay, so this is another opportunity for Nick.
Yeah, I guess. Big enough lead, he's going to play it safe.
This is about 8 seconds, correct?
11.
11, okay.
11
so
if done perfectly.
Nick is about 25 seconds behind.
But obviously harder strats ahead of him.
And he's going for it. Okay. Gets the first part.
And more or less no choice. And he is in.
Yeah. Let's see if Nick can capitalize right here. I do respect Stravos for playing it safe here, especially that he hasn't been going for it really that much in this league. I think it is a good idea in what he's doing.
Yeah, it certainly makes sense. I would say in a closer race you might want to think about it, but even with the time that he lost not getting the clip in Seaside.
And a nice single throw from Nick.
Yes, Sledge, I was going to make that point too. Perfect Spiritless is 11 seconds faster than Perfect Spewer. So you can definitely lose time on Spirit Route, but the time losses are not as abundant as they can be in Spiritless, which is a very tough route. Definitely more difficult.
We did see a bonk from Stravos earlier, so that kind of counted into it, but we also did see Nick kind of struggling to ground pound that moon on top of the, I don't know what to call it, like the crystal food or whatever. The sidewall.
Rock.
Okay, he
it's Nick getting a heart route also. Here in the fourth room. Not a whole lot of runners go for that.
I think it will save him a little bit of time here because he did have 2 hearts, so...
That is correct. It saves time if you get it, loses time if you don't. Strav obviously no need because he's coming in with hearts.
Okay, let's see if DB
Strav, you do have to collect that other moon. I mean, I'm sure there's a backup. You could do Timer Moon if you really wanted, but why? There's a moon right there. Might as well get that one.
Oh!
But he can get back up, I think. There we go.
Yeah.
Get back up. A little bit of trouble. Does lose a fair amount of time there. Almost the time save from Spiritless.
That was such a big capitalization opportunity for Nick right there.
We'll see if Strav is able to play the rest of this route cleanly. With the time pretty even.
The RNG with the pans are lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, I get why. I'm sure as a runner it's very annoying. Okay, Nick has decided out of frustration to assault the Cappy Cap employees. Crazy Cap employees. I don't even know the name of this dang place. Exactly, stop violence against shop clerks. Except unironically.
Except unironically, of course. Okay, and I think Stravos has pretty much put a near clean luncheon. I think like okay, so we're gonna
block
see this
jump up coming for Nick. Sorry to interrupt you. A single. Well done to Nick. That was the crux point of this route, so he is at least going to save time if everything else goes right.
Oh my goodness, that single block jump got me on the edge of the seat.
Sorry to cut you off. We were coming up on a big moment there.
Oh yeah, no problem. I was just gonna say that Nick missing the capitalization, because I feel like if Nick did not miss that turnip, the issue with the turnip, he would have gained close to the full 11 seconds. And,
yeah, otherwise his Spiritless has been very clean. He's gonna do the Potavoo room here with no issues.
Okay, so it's Nick here. So I'm gonna guess that lost him actually like close to 10 seconds. So I don't think he saved time over Stravos really. In all honesty, if not, like if he did, maybe like within 2 seconds of time, which that is not what Nick needs right now.
I'm counting in my head.
Looks like we're gonna get a 52, 42, 58.
There we go. Gets the globe. Grab. Okay, so he's 23 seconds ahead now. So Nick picked up only 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Better than losing time.
I think that was one of the main turning points in the run if he was able to hit that. So we got Bowser King the Mech. That could always be happy with it. I think now he has to rely on Stravos making mistakes.
Yeah, at this point he is running out of opportunities. Something that can be very hard to come by, especially for underserved students trying to get into college, and that's where the urban arts comes in.
Nice transition there.
Thank you. I'm slowly becoming the transition god of Cool Cat Gang. I'm gonna level here. That might be an all-timer. The Urban Arts is a great program that helps underserved kids get into college, teaches them game design as well as generally STEAM skills, which are extremely important. As I always tell people, I have a math degree and 95% of my job is in coding. So, really not about what degree you get anymore. It's more about, you know, what skills you come into a job with, and those can definitely be hard to come by for people in certain communities. So, the Urban Arts is doing great work to help those kids level back up the playing field. So we would definitely appreciate if you would help them out if you are able. We also want to thank Urban Arts for providing the prize fund for this and many of our tournaments here at Cool Cat Gang, as well as being friends of the esports community in general.
I think it's really cool what Urban Arts does and what they do. They try to give kids who don't have that opportunity a chance to go into college. I think everyone should have a chance to have an education, especially at a higher level like college. And art, people who do art in general, which I guess you could say video game designing is pretty much an art at this point. You consider, like, look at this, like, without people designing our video games, we wouldn't be able to have video games in the first place. So I really appreciate what they do, and once I get my paycheck in from work, I'll definitely drop some money towards Urban Arts.
Yes, well, we definitely appreciate it. They definitely. I am not part of it. Also, go follow these runners, because if you're not, like, what are you doing?
Okay, we are out of the Ruined Kingdom, and this is where things start getting tense in the run here, especially with, I think, one mistake on Mech, and Nick is back in this race. Or one critical mistake, like he falls off and he can't get back up. Kind of what happened to Light Ron in the last race.
Well, Strav does have the better golds and averages from here on out. It's going to take a Mario Meltdown trademarked, all rights reserved. But with 25 seconds, a fall off of Mech could do it. I was about to say 2 missed throws. I don't know why my brain's on 16 star mode today.
16 star mode.
Yeah, I called Boons stars earlier. I don't know.
Oh yes, we love the Mario Meltdown. I just love, I mean, is Mario Meltdown more of a Mario 64 term, or is that just kind of like all over the communities?
I think it's in general.
Okay, and story mode number 1 for Stravs complete.
Things looking pretty good here for Strav so far. Nick with a very clean start.
No, 57 is not possible for any of the runners at this point.
Strav generously has 58.5 if he does DSS, which he's not going to. Or 2 DSS, which he's not going to. So, Strav at this point looking at a high 58 if all else goes right. And that would put Nick at a low 59. Good shards. Let's see if he goes birdless. He will.
Okay. I'm excited to see this.
That is a great birdless. That is about as textbook as you can do it. Right there at the moon. Ah, bonk! Nick's gotta be careful that he didn't take damage off that spine with a good recovery. That will lose him about 3 seconds.
Not making it easy right now.
No, that puts him about 29 seconds behind. He is oh no, he's not going for birdless. Almost falls off the edge. So that's gonna lose another couple seconds. Camera's got to pan all the way back over to Mario.
Yeah, I think Strav needs to have a Mario Meltdown at this point for only way for Nick to win. I think it's more of how many points can Nick obtain at this point.
And the good news is Nick is at least close enough that, as of right now, he'd be picking up 27 points.
See if we get a Zarbomba.
Oh, that is a great Zarbomba right there in the middle where you got to get it. And Nick has off the edge!
Wow.
And the good news turns to bad. Starting to lose some points.
I think that might have been a few points just off that mistake alone right there.
I completely agree, and unfortunately his connection's starting to give some trouble. We'll get that fixed in a little bit. There we go.
It's the commentator's curse. It's real.
So Nick beginning his bunnies with a topper first. Trav moving up to 6 out of 8 in Sarbamba. Nick sitting at a even 50%.
Now, what's the whole thing in the SMO community regarding topper first and Harriet first?
There's a whole... It's not as big of a deal as it used to be, but people definitely have opinions.
Does it lose time, or is it
No.
more just like, what do you want to do first?
No, it is just people want something to be mad about.
Got it.
We do live in an outrage culture. I'm not sure if you noticed.
Okay, it looks like Nick is set up for the Sarbamba as well.
Now, I want to be 100% clear here. I do not care. I do not care whatsoever. And secondly, I do not run this game. So, I have zero opinion. However, if I were a top-level runner, I would think you would want to do Harriet first to get Sarbamba out of the way. But if you beat one bunny, it saves. So it's not like if you did Topper and then died on Sarbamba, that... I don't know. So literally makes no difference.
Okay, the moment of
I'm
truth
not a
coming
runner.
up.
My opinion is invalid, and my opinion is I have no opinion.
Okay, Stravos, you know, a little bit of a struggle to get up there, but, you know, makes it work. That's all you need to do. And he's set up fine, yeah.
Gorgeous Topper acquired. He is perfect on that strat. He's also perfect on target acquired, which he will do here in a little bit, riding out the bull. Nick finding himself close to a minute behind now. How dare I have no opinion on something that doesn't matter at all. Literally society in 2022. Nick a little bit of trouble there on the wall. Going for the left side Topper acquired and he's got, or target acquired and he's got it. Super clean.
Stravos got this locked up pretty much. I think we're gonna see a 58 4x from him. I think that's his pace right now.
That sounds about right.
Man.
Maybe 58.5. Because his... I don't know if his 58.2 goes for that 2DSS or not. It's a 507, which would indicate that he doesn't. So never mind. I don't know why I thought he was 2DSS in his PB.
And looks like Nick is fine. Okay, we're good.
Nick has been behind, since the Lake Kingdom. They were really even coming out of sand, and then Nick rolled through the wall on Lake Clip, had to do Rango route, took a death and lost, and it has been in the 25 to 30 second ballpark until this Kingdom. Nick dove off during Roof Dram. So those are the three things. Otherwise, this race has been pretty even. Actually, yes. Strav had a little bit cleaner of a sand, so he was like 2 seconds ahead in sand.
Yeah, I think pretty much since the beginning of the race, what happened was Nick. So it's pretty much started off with the late clip, just the horrors that happened there, and then he just never was able to get a grasp on the run the way Stravos has, and Stravos just been saving a little bit of time every single Kingdom, and yeah, that happens in races sometimes. Just an unfortunate time for Nick, as we'll see where he is on the points sheet after this week.
Brad will move into second place, well ahead of Dansta, and right on the heels of Tyrone. If Tyrone were to take an upset loss, the way Strav's been playing, he very well may get into first place. Looking actually at Tyrone's runs so far, he has not been blowing out his opponents like you would think he would. So far, his biggest score... Well, I take it back. He shut out Sledge, but against the 6 highest-ranked opponents that are not Tyrone, obviously he can't play himself, he's only scored a 74. Oh, Strav.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
That works.
A little bit of an issue there with one wall jump. He was 7 for 9 in that coming in.
Does that count as a successful attempt? I'm gonna say that's like 7.5. You know, I guess technically it counts.
Yeah, I mean, we would have to check with Matsy for that, but that looks fine to me.
Okay, let's see if we get the one ball. And oh, not gonna get it.
It will be fail number 4 for him. He has gotten it in every race. Finally getting it. Naturally, his second try was the cleanest one we've seen in this race.
Okay, we're about to get into the escape sequence with Stravos any minute.
Nick, okay. Oh, he didn't get it. I was gonna be able to say fast chat there, and it is starting to come apart. Basically, every little mistake you make at this point is losing another point for the leaderboards. And these little mistakes could ultimately cost him the playoffs if Speed's able to catch up to him.
What's the top points for the playoffs?
Top 8.
Top 8. Got it.
So, Strav, at this point, I would think is mathematically in. I do not feel like sitting and trying to calculate that. Certainly with a win.
I think it's more about placement points at this point. Is there any way Tyrone can go down, or is it only if like he loses and then Strav pretty much wins from here on out?
In theory, Strav could take Tyrone over on points. It's not wins. It's points is the only ranking metric. Strav getting 2D skip there. I should have mentioned.
2D skip, no attempt at all for 2DSS. I don't know if Nick is gonna go for 2DSS or not at this point. See if he can make up some points, or just say like, hey, I'm just gonna go for 2D skip at this point.
Well, Nick has thrown some attempts at the wall. He's currently 0 for 9. We'll keep you updated on that while the rest of you get your cat jams out.
So already ahead of everyone with the cat jams.
Strav with 2 pillars down. Taking a damage, not a big deal.
Oh, we got a war in chat right now with the Pepe D's and cat jammers.
Going for it. Nick. Oh, this is looking good, actually. This is looking good, actually.
Oh, no! Well, that was a good attempt while it lasted.
Yeah, good run at it. And that has just been the story of the day for Nick. Just not able to convert when it mattered, and Strav will pick up a win. 58-46.
46, okay.
Just outside of the top 10 times of the league so far. A great run by Strav, beating his average time, so his average will go down. Nick, still an outside shot at sub-hour, but he'll have to move. He will need a tournament golden pillars. We will see.
Looks
I
like that's
think
not
he's
gonna
missed too
happen.
many fireballs.
Yeah,
And
it's
he's
not
going back.
happening.
And at this point, he missed another one. At this point, sub-hour is going to be dead.
Yeah, I think him missing 2DS actually just cost him another point. And the way he missed it, at least.
Oh, he was
Yeah.
able to get that first pillar, actually. So, you would know better than I would.
And I think you said it right when Nick just didn't hit the things he needed to hit. That was the story of the race.
Well, it will be 67 point. Yeah, just missing it. That's devastating. And now we're in 2 seconds. So it'll be 67 points for Strav, 23 for Nick. And we will see in a moment if either commentators or if either runner is going to come into the booth for an interview. I actually just looked at the final times for this league so far. There have been more sub-hours than hours.
That's a cool stat.
That is insane. And in fact, we will be joined by both runners, Nick and Strav. GG's to both of you.
Yo,
Thanks.
I'll start with Strav. We talked a little bit in chat about how you're just now getting to doing spirit skip in your runs. I've noticed that you have gone forward in the league before. Was today just I'm far ahead enough that I want to go safe, or was that your plan going into the race?
How it is right now is like if it feels like if I'm like slightly behind or like tied, and I like really need to make sure that I attempt a win. Like last week when I was going against Tyrone, I definitely needed Spiritless in order to keep up with him, and so I went for it there. Here, not quite so much, so I'm still like just not ready to use it in races, but I am doing it in runs. I'm getting a decent amount of practice with it, but my priority is still just consistency in other kingdoms. I'm just not quite ready to dive into Spiritless practice that heavily yet.
You've definitely been Mr. Consistency. Your worst time so far in this league is 1 hour and 5 seconds, so you have been right in there in all 8 of your races. What's been the secret to your consistency?
I do a lot of runs with race strats and race consistency in mind. Like, I'm not necessarily trying to PB all the time, so that's sometimes helpful. Sometimes I feel like I'm just getting worse and worse. Like, going into the race today, I did not have too much hope, but I guess I got all the mistakes out of the way early before the race, and all of the depression out of the way early, and I could just focus. So it turned out well this time, but it's rough. Playing these guys is difficult when you know you kind of need a 58 to ensure a win. Like, sometimes that might not even be enough.
Easy matches are hard to come by in the 80% league.
What would you say?
I'm sorry,
I was just going to ask Stravos one more question. What is the main difference what you do between your PB attempts and race attempts? And would you say the strat you go for is very similar, or would you say it would be different?
So, until recently, I've been doing my PB attempts exactly like races. So my current PB, my newest PB, is a 58.22, and that is with DSS, but I don't think I did Spiritless yet. So now I'm doing both in PB attempts because I just kind of need it. I could PB like in a race even potentially without those two things, but that's getting very difficult now.
Yeah, I'd say just having those tools in the bag, just in case you need to throw them out like you did against Tyrone, then you can take them out. But obviously today you just felt comfortable with them in your had and got you to win with the 48 as well. So I respect that heavily. And then, sorry to interrupt you earlier, AC, but you can go ask your other question now.
All right, thank you. Over to Nick. Just had some trouble putting it together today. A couple small mistakes ultimately cost you in the race. What happened out there?
If I would have to sum up the race in 2 words, it would be disappointment and depression.
Sorry to
which
hear
has
that.
kind of been the theme the past like 3 or 4 weeks. With like Jambo and then Buster, and now Strav. But you know, with Strav, like his PB is worse than mine, but his consistency is definitely better. And to top it off, I'm not completely there yet. I'm not completely back with like my consistency. Like my movement's like better than it has ever been. Like I can get like a 550 luncheon gold if I get a good IL, which I wouldn't have been able to do before, like 8 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago almost. But the consistency is not there yet, and it's kind of difficult to go up against Stravos because his game is kind of consistency, and my game is like go fast, kind of like, you know, put everything on the line, except for DSS. I don't do DSS. I do everything else in races though.
So do you think that the go big or go home strategy is better than the go for consistent strategy?
I don't know. Tyrone pretty much does both. I think Tyrone and me have very similar play styles, but he's definitely more consistent than me.
Got it. Now, if let's just say today you did go a bit more on the consistent route, do you think that you would be able to make get at least a 59-ish or make it?
No, I don't play like that. Like if I played like consistent, like I don't think I would fare very well, to be honest. I think I would still make mistakes. I just don't. I don't function like that.
Got it. Understandable. I mean, everyone's play styles vary.
Yeah.
And so, what were we gonna say there, AC?
Yeah, I was just going to say, before we sign off for the night, we got a donation during this race from Brim, giving us $10, saying, "Stopping violence against shop clerks while helping those students." Thank you very much for the $10 to the Urban Arts, and again, thank you to the Urban Arts for their continued support. Nick, Strav, great race, and
Yeah, good race.
looks like we're headed to a Spanish SMO tournament right after this. So lots more SMO content, just not here until next weekend. Stay tuned and stay tuned to our Twitter and Discord for upcoming tournaments. Hero, thanks for commentating with me.
No problem. It was a pleasure.
Oh, we'll be live tomorrow. It doesn't say we'll be live tomorrow on the schedule. I just checked the schedule before we signed off.
Oh,
gotta-
I think there was supposed to be a third race, but there was a reschedule.
Okay. All right, everybody. Everybody, make fun of Saren for not keeping his schedule updated. We will see you back here tomorrow for continued Mario Odyssey action. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your
GG.
weekend.
GG's runners.